Hello everyone, good evening. My name is Folarin, standing in for your regular anchor, Akin Okudero, who is on national assignment. Welcome to Your Image, the only public relations program, television program in Africa. Today, we are discussing the vexed issue of leadership. And we are looking at leadership and reputation management, especially how leaders can earn the trust of citizens. I have with me two resource persons to unpack the topic. I have with me the chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Abeokuta chapter, barrister, and also Chief Kayode Aderemi. Kayode Aderemi, barrister Aderemi, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you to our listeners too.
Okay. Also with us here, I have a member of the Association of Nigerian Authors, Anna, in Ogun State. He recently published his book on Amazing, just yesterday. Yeah. I speak about Mr. Gbenga Ogunsola. Gbenga, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for having me.
Okay, welcome. So, barrister, for many years now, citizens usually blame leaders. And we have a saying that when the fish is going to get rotten, it starts from the head. Do you think we should solely put the blame of, our underwhelming performance on leaders generally? What's your take?
Should the blame be solely on underperforming leaders? Solely, I do not think it should be solely. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I think it should be like 8. 8 to 10. 8 over 10.
Okay.
I don't know whether we can go into the reasons why I took that position.
Quickly.
The reason is because democracy has not always been the style of governance as far as history is concerned. For example, if you look at the Bible and Quran, there was no election bringing Jesus Christ as a leader.
Right.
And there was no election bringing Prophet Muhammad as a leader at the time.
Right.
Then it was more of theocracy. So if you check back, democracy did not start as far as the books or history is concerned. Some people came about it and conceptualized it. It had been said that there is no policy or program without lapses or disadvantages. I will say here today, I stand corrected, that one of the disadvantages of democracy is what has led to this program, this topic today. And here's what I mean. Democracy is basically a game of majority or numbers.
Right.
The problem with that is this. If you have 10 people, 7 of them are nincompoops or fools, and 3 are not, and there is a vote, and somehow the person on the ballot has managed to convince the 7 nincompoops or 7 fools, this man or woman will emerge, no matter how foolish he or she is.
It's called the dictatorship of the majority.
Exactly. So that's the downside of democracy.
Right.
I think it was Socrates or one of the philosophers, and I quite agree, that postulated that it is only those that understand who a leader ought to be that should determine or decide who the leader would be. There's a lot of sense in that.
Right.
But how to now design that kind of government has been the problem.
Okay.
Imagine phrases or clauses like Diboko Sebe. As I was driving to OGTV this afternoon, I saw a billboard, quite large, that says something like, your vote is one of your responsibilities. That thing is so important, it's so good.
Right.
But I can place a bet that message will not register in the minds of the majority that actually vote.
Why? Why will it not register?
So then it's about I'm speaking empirically, by the way. This is not theory.
Okay.
I contested general elections in 2019.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh.
I aspired to be a member of the House of Assembly of Ogun State. Did you know, sir, that on campaign grounds, after telling them what I hoped to do as a lawmaker,
Right.
I was hearing some sentences in the background. I was hearing that.
Okay.
I acted deaf to that, and I continued speaking. Some people now took it a notch higher. They raised their voices. So to them, what I was going to offer them for 4 years in service was not their concern. In fact, one of them said, he collected mic to say it. He did not, this one did not use.
It wasn't muted.
No. He said, I'm speaking Yoruba, maybe it will be interpreted later.
That once you are elected.
Once you get in, you will not remember us anymore. So let us collect from you what is ours now.
Okay, please hold your thought. You see, that's the trust deficit we are talking about. The citizens do not have trust in leaders. As authors, how have you been capturing these in your works so that we can have a change in narrative?
Thank you, sir. In our works, we create characters that actually imitate human behaviors. So in our works, we have characters that are leaders in the association or in their family or elsewhere. So the way we portray those characters, the way those characters develop, is what I would actually, when readers read those books,
right,
the way we develop those characters would shape people's mind after reading those books.
Okay.
So we actually do it in our works. Yes.
It will teach them lessons.
Of course, by building characters that are tailored to.
And that you punish characters who errs.
Of course. Of course.
Okay. So let's look at the leadership recruitment process. The way we recruit our leaders, because the role of money, you mentioned the role of money. Money plays a key role. Even the Bible says, money answereth all things. How can we downplay the role of money? What do you think government can do? Because right now, the electoral law is being tweaked. So what's your suggestion that we can do so that to downplay the role of money in politics? You're laughing.
Someone said in a song,
right,
that when what is desirable is not available, then what is available will be desirable.
Right.
Meaning that if you don't get what you want, you manage with what you have. The solution is so unpopular that I have cold feet saying it.
Okay.
And it is this: political offices should be demonetized.
Okay. How do you mean demonetized? Won't they earn salary?
If, for example, the salary of a lawmaker is like, say, 2 million per month at the federal level, or 1 million, more serious people are likely to contest for such posts. But when you know that you have about 30 million or thereabouts to go home with every month, if someone asks you that, you know what, the law, when you think about the incentives in it, when you get there,
all right,
you may dull your conscience and say, after all, I'm not the one going to kill. Have you heard, sir, that people, is there any profession in the world, let's pick Nigeria first, that people kill to get there, or position, like politics? Look at a lot of executions. Look at this man in Lagos. Is it Williams, Funsho Williams or something? Look at Dino Dipo in Ogun State. Virtually all states. When elections are even nearing, you could hear that some were gunned down. There is hardly any other position. Is it pastoral, is it the clerics, MBA chairman, who was seeking my life, for example?
Okay, when you contested.
Exactly, because I'm spending my money as a chairman, I'm saying it now. But when you know that it's so juicy, then you would do almost anything to get there. Okay. So if the perks of the office are so much reduced. It's so theoretical, but it is also the way forward to my mind.
Okay.
Then less people will jostle
Okay.
for the position.
What happened to service? It's supposed to be a position of service, not a position where you go to enjoy.
Of course. I believe what we're actually lacking in our leadership capacity in the world, especially this country, is number one, transparency. I believe when a leader is transparent with the service that he is actually rendering to the people, people will begin to trust him. And not just being transparent, you have to be consistent with whatever you have been transparent with. Like, when you say something today, don't say something else tomorrow. Be consistently saying the same thing, the same goal that you have been following. You should not say one thing today and one thing tomorrow. And a leader should always be engaging. You must engage your citizens. Yes, you must engage them. Whatever you are trying to achieve, you must carry them along. Let them know this is what you are doing. You know, there's a way you should get feedbacks from them. Okay. You know, a leader would be trusted when he engages the people he's leading. You can't lead without listening to people. Don't just talk. Listen to them. Get feedback. And another thing is, you know, for you to be successful in whatever service you are rendering, is authenticity. You must be authentic. Right. You must be real. We don't need leaders that are perfect. You can't be perfect. But
there are no angels.
Be real with whatever with yourself. Don't polish yourself to the public and now do something else behind the doors.
Thank you very much. Barrister, there's something called tone at the top. You know, and it's often said that examples are better than precepts. What do you see with our leaders? Are they walking their talks?
Well, if I were to answer that question the way it is asked, I'll be stereotyping.
Okay.
I'll have to generalize.
Please do.
I wish, and that would be difficult for me to do, by the way. That's the point I'm making.
Okay.
If a particular person had been mentioned, then we can speak with specificity. But if you say our leaders, some are very, very distinguished, while some are not. Okay. So when you say our leaders, how do I bring them together in the same pigeonhole? To be difficult for me to respond to that question.
Okay.
However, to my mind, that's why I'm dodging that question, not because I'm afraid. I can't pull them. We have had fantastic leaders.
Yeah.
And we have had the ones that arguably they failed, etc. But taking the cue from MBA leadership,
right?
I am not the best. Lawyers may be listening to me now,
right?
And I'm not striving to be the best. What I'm striving to do rather is to give my best.
Okay.
And I believe a lot in vision. I've noticed a lot of things. Today, just today, I drove to Kobakwe Road, the High Court complex. Not because this is the cloth I was wearing, so not to appear in court. It is to collect some books about a foremost leader, someone that lawyers listening to me and judges will confirm this. This man has been dead since, I think, year 2000.
Okay.
But as we speak today, the talks on the streets among lawyers is that this man was the greatest law practitioner in Ogun State.
Amazing.
Even after his death, 25 years after.
25 years after.
I'm talking about another but Chief Akintoye Koka.
Right.
The name, it just reverbs everywhere. So I've been asking myself, everywhere I go, before I became a lawyer, I've been hearing about his name. Till yesterday at our meeting, we mentioned this man's name. In fact, there is an annual lecture held in his honor. And I asked, there must be something that this man knows. So I asked for books I can get about him. Since I can't see him to ask him, let me read to get into his mind. My idea is this. As I have become the chairman by God's grace and mercies, I am hoping to impact people's lives as maximally as possible. That is my vision.
Wonderful.
So everything I can lay hands on to read, to pour this part of me out, I am doing that. I got 3 books today. I've gotten some before. I've gone online to read about this enigma. And by the way, June 12, 2023, I published a book and I launched it that same day. That book is, I won't say the title so that it will not be like advertisement.
Yeah,
but the point I'm making is that book, you know what I did in that book? After I know I'm not a dull person. I know I am intelligent. I don't mean to be proud. Those are listening to me.
Okay.
Okay. When I discovered that my first, second, third, fourth, fifth, seventh year as a lawyer, I was still poor. I was concerned. Am I cursed? Kilo shele. This is what I now did. I went through those I perceived as successful.
Okay.
My seniors.
I learned from them.
And I asked questions. I was writing down their answers in a book.
Amazing.
And I found out that, oh, there is a gestation period to break through.
Yeah, you need
financially in law. Nobody told me that.
Okay, that's a wonderful.
What should I do? I now put those interviews in that book so that those coming behind me can read, and they will not feel that they are cursed.
Okay,
like I was feeling.
Thank you, Barrister.
For me, that's vision.
Yeah. Look, my brother Gbenga, reading is a problem. It is often said that Nigerians don't read.
Yes.
And they even say if you want to hide something from a Nigerian, hide it in a book. But how can we change this narrative? And what are you doing in your own corner to change this narrative?
One thing I have been, telling the ANA chairman ever since was our appearance to the public.
Right.
ANA is not known by this state. ANA Ogunsola, like the way we are perceived, is not heavy. Like ANA is just like a local association that is not reckoned with. And I told our chairman that is there a way we can actually miss the government so that, for example, now if ANA members are the ones reviewing books read in schools, because one of the problems we are having is that the books people are reading are not books that are really edifying.
Okay. Are
not books that can actually teach morals.
Okay.
And if they teach morals, they don't leave the morals there after people have learned it from reading the book.
So what do you think can be done to improve the reading habits of Nigerians generally?
Okay, now that's why.
Because I'm the PR of ANA in Omo.
I know.
You're putting us on the spot.
I know. Okay. Now, the first thing is we should make sure that the books we are putting out are books that are actually of high quality. Okay. Now, having done that, then governments recommend books for schools. Then we should parley with the government so that they can recommend those books, those quality books for people to read.
Okay, thank you. Barrister, a school of thought believes that if we start giving book gifts during birthdays, wedding ceremonies, and then rather than buying other gifts, it will stimulate reading. What's your take about this?
What is the template for that? That's what I'll ask. Where has it been done? And that you work.
What can start?
And they saw.
You can start with it.
Why try and error when you know what can work already? Well, if we start, I think there should be a plan B. That can be done really anyway. It sounds fancy. But what I do most times is, if I want to launch an idea, initiative, a policy, a project, I like to see, I'll ask a question. Has this been done somewhere? I like to check what's working.
Okay.
If I become the governor, for example, I would study some countries. Singapore is one of them. South Korea is there, definitely. China is there. So then we now, exactly, we now bring in that template. Of course, we domesticate.
Right.
We tweak a bit to fit into our own fancy. Exactly. So if you are saying we should be giving gifts,
books gifts
as gift, what I want to ask is, I'll be a bit wary. Because it sounds fancy, like I said, but if it had been done somewhere, look, you know, the last time you interviewed me in a program, sir, I said, and I like to say it, that I hate to be invited twice for the same topic. That means nothing is changing.
Right.
Yes. So if it had been done somewhere and it worked, why not? But if we do that alone, it's like putting the whole of our eggs in a basket. So if it fails, one is doomed. So it sounds fanciful, like I said, but if you're going to do it, my advice would be that let us first take a poll and see how things are, reading-wise.
Okay.
Let us, as in, we do a survey, and then there would be a recorded result. Then give it like 3 months or 6 months. Try that thing. Then see whether reading culture has improved.
Okay.
See the values in people's lives. Whether there have been impartations from the books they read. If that works, why not? Okay. Look, statistics don't lie. When people see, for example, that if you chew pen, someone chews pen and dies, tomorrow it happens, If as a lawyer, that's the way I give facts in court.
Right.
So if you say that 2 people have chewed pen and they died, these are their addresses, these are their names.
Okay.
When people hear that, they will respect more. But if I just say pen kills and I stop there, there will be a problem.
Okay. Do you think that leadership should be taught as a topic in schools?
Yes.
Very quickly as we begin to round up.
Yes, I believe leadership should be taught in schools, as a topic. So, for example, people should actually write books that talks about leadership for students to read in school. And one thing I want to actually talk about what you
because of time.
Yes,
just round off.
First we must actually reduce the use of social media.
Social media.
Yes, because it is affecting the way people read. Okay. Because it's like having a disease somewhere and now trying to tweet the
Thank
same.
you very much. Barrister, quickly, do you think leadership should be taught in primary school, secondary school, and universities?
Not that it should be taught, it must be taught.
It must be taught.
Thank you.
Okay, and on that note, we'd like to call it a wrap on Your Image, the only public relations television program in Africa. Until next week, when we come your way, again with a fresh edition. I'd like to thank our guest, Barrister Aderemi. Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you, my leader.
Okay. Mr. Gbenga, Ogunsola, thank you very much. We hope that next time when we call on you, you will accede to our request. Thank you very much. Until next week, when we come your way again with a fresh edition of the program, Your Image, this is Folarin saying bye for now.